PMacMovies back in the movie room. I haven't done a video in the movie room in a while. This is just a tiny portion of the collection over in this corner. This room is full of movies. But I'm actually making this video kind of late. I usually tend to make my videos early in the day, but I have kind of a small stack of reviews from, some of these are movies I watched more recently, weeks ago, possibly months ago for some of them. And we'll take a look and talk about them a little bit. Some of these movies I really loved quite a bit. I feel like I haven't watched a lot of actual movies that I have physical copies of lately. I can't. Maybe I've streamed a few movies. I know I watched the new one on Amazon Prime there with Chris Pratt. That was actually pretty. It was nothing great, but if you're looking for something of a summer blockbuster type of movie that you can just stream, it's a good sci-fi movie. It was entertaining. I'm not going to talk too much about that, though. I don't have a physical copy of it. And then we've been watching some TV shows here and there. But I did want to take a look at a stack of physical disc movies that I've watched. And some of these, like I said, I really liked them. So let's go through and take a look at this stack. First, I talked about this in my haul video when I got this one, Flashback, and it's like I don't know when it first came out. As far as did it go right to streaming? Is it right to video? I know Amazon Prime has a lot of these Lionsgate ones, so maybe it's already on Amazon Prime. I haven't checked. But as far as, first, the release of this movie, the slipcover, I really like the blue and black and white colors on there, the color scheme and the artwork. I really like that, how they did that. You can see the back there. And it does, Lionsgate is, I don't know if they're considered a budget company, but they're definitely budget as far as the eco cases and stuff like that, and you're not getting any flashy disc art. But for a movie, let's just call this a direct-to-video movie. It does have a little bit of star power. It's got Dylan O'Brien and Micah Monroe. I don't really know the other people very well. And going into this movie, I thought it would be decent. Like, I had fairly positive expectations for it. I think the reviews are fairly mixed, which is pretty positive for this kind of movie, A lot of times these sci-fi type things will get very horrible reviews, and, you'll read horrible stuff about the movie. But it was pretty mixed, almost a little tiny bit more on the positive. But I thought it was really fantastic and really fun. First of all, I do like Dylan O'Brien. I've liked several movies that he's been in. In particular, the first Maze Runner movie, I like that. And then that one that he's in with Michael Keaton, American something, I can't remember, Americans. It was actually pretty good, like a pretty good action movie. So this is really more of like a mind bender type of movie. And there's a drug in the mix, but I think it's just kind of something where it's kind of a reality questioning movie. And I did watch it a couple weeks ago, so I don't remember details, and I can't really give away details because probably a lot of people haven't seen this. I'm not going to give away spoilers, but it's one of these mind-bending movies, and I'll tell you by the end of it, I don't know that I totally followed everything within the story perfectly, but that makes it quite rewatchable. If I went back through and watched it again, it's possible that I could like it a lot more. It's also possible that I may like it less. That is always a possibility. Sometimes, you rewatch a movie and you're like, that wasn't as good as I thought it was. But I really enjoyed this one, and I think I was even thinking this is probably a PMac classic movie. A 5 out of 5. I really like these mind benders. And people might, oh, the acting isn't good enough. Oh, the this or that, and getting nitpicky. I was enthralled by the movie. I was totally into the movie. I was totally entertained by the movie. So I'm not picking apart every little thing. Oh, this didn't totally make sense, or the acting here wasn't totally great. There may very well be things in this movie, if you pick it apart, it doesn't totally piece together or make total sense. But like I said, I think it is a movie that you kind of got to watch more than once. You know, I think I kind of took it in. I still have some questions in my mind about it, but it made me ponder some things. And when a movie makes me ponder about reality and about, you know, that sort of thing, I tend to enjoy the movie. And this had enough of everything, making me think, entertaining me. Really enjoyed it. 5 out of 5. I highly recommend this. You can find it at $15 at places like Target and Walmart. It will go down in price, and I did get it during a buy two get one. I ended up getting it for a real good price, like $8.50, combining a couple deals. So you can get this quite cheap already, and it just came out here. It's been out for probably over a month now. Another one that I really liked, which I actually finished it today. I kind of watched this in pieces. And this is a Russian movie. It is put out by Scream Factory here in the U.S. It is an IFC Midnight. And the name of the movie is Sputnik here. And it's 114 minutes. It is Russian, like I said. It does come with Slippy Dippy. And I got this for a really good deal. I think it was like $13.80 and buy two, get one. So it ends up being, let's just say, $9, something like that for this, during a buy two, get one sale. And I had pretty much just read some things about the movie. I had heard it compared to things like Alien and things like Arrival. And I'll tell you what, this is a fantastic movie as well. A really good... It's a sci-fi movie, but it really mostly uses the sci-fi portion of it, sci-fi horror, to get to kind of like the psychological piece behind it. So the main character here is the girl who she's like a doctor, and this fella here, this gentleman, he has he's like an astronaut, and he comes back, and he has like an alien inside of him. But and it's hard to talk about it without giving it away. Those things, you know, you're gonna find out about very early in the movie. There's a really big psychological component with the alien and the guy that it's in, and then there's a lot of stuff going on with the female who is the lead character in the movie, the main character. Now, a few other things I really liked about this movie. I thought that the sound, the music, really was excellent. It really you know, put you in a certain mood while you watch the movie. The music was used to kind of build the tension, and it just really had a nice feel to it. I thought all of the characters were even the characters that end up maybe you not being good characters, you kind of had mixed feelings, I think, about a lot of the characters, and you could kind of see some of where they were coming from. The acting was phenomenal. I thought it was good, though, that it was like you didn't totally hate any of the characters. You kind of understood where they were coming from in a lot of ways. And just a really fantastic movie. I would say it's probably something more like Arrival than it is like Alien, but there's a good mix here. There's a good mix of like the sci-fi, the horror, and the psychological aspect. It's really more of like a psychological movie when you get down to it, I think, and a metaphorical type of thing. And I enjoyed this one quite a bit. I would give this one a 4.5 out of 5. I really thought that was a good one. There's some really good ones in here. Let's go to more of a lighter one. We got Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, which got pretty terrible reviews, and I'm kind of surprised by it because for me, now this is a Sylvester Stallone movie, and it's a Sylvester Stallone movie you don't really hear about. Mill Creek put it out, so Universal didn't even care to put it out on Blu-ray. And it also has Estelle Getty from Golden Girls, who's hilarious in Golden Girls. She's hilarious in this. Now, to me, the movie is exactly what it sets out to be. It's a silly kind of action comedy. Now, I guess somebody who does reviews on these things, oh, this movie's dumb, whatever. This movie's kind of supposed to be dumb. It's not supposed to be realistic. I thought Sylvester Stallone was actually great in it. I really enjoyed his performance, and Estelle Getty was hilarious. The story was engaging. The interaction between Sylvester Stallone and Estelle Getty was I thought it was very good. This isn't going to win any Oscars, but it is going to entertain you if you have any sense of humor, in my opinion. I thought this movie was actually hilarious in parts, and it had a pretty fun story to it also. So I really enjoyed it. I give this movie a 4 out of 5. It's not like like I said, it's not a great movie or anything like that, but it's really a lot of fun. And it's more fun than just, you watch the movie. It's solid. It's like a 3.5 out of 5. I enjoyed it more than that. So that's why I say about a 4 out of 5. This next one, I didn't really like this one. It is Under Suspicion with Liam Neeson and Laura San Giacomo, which I only remember her from Just Shoot Me with David Spade. This movie, it's like a suspense thriller. I didn't really care for it too much. I'd probably give it about a 3 out of 5. It was just kind of iffy to me, and definitely not one that I would recommend to purchase. This is one of my favorite types of movies. It is Before I Fall. And this is another one. I think this got pretty mixed, pretty mediocre reviews. But this is one of those movies where it's like a Groundhog Day thing, where the one character in the movie is their day is repeating over and over and over again. And that is the girl here, played by, I believe it's Zoe Deutsch. It's basically kind of, it's a bunch of like high schoolers. And, her friend group is shallow and makes fun of this one girl, and it's kind of like a teenage drama sort of thing, but it's with the Groundhog Day twist, and I really enjoy this type of movie. It reminds me a lot about just our lives in general. Like, we can use things as learning experiences. This just kind of makes it like, it really like blatantly points it out, because the person's able to live the same day over and over and over, and they're really able to pick apart kind of their mistakes and their the things that they should be more focused on in life, and it really makes it obvious. And it's those type of movies always kind of hit me pretty deeply, because I think to myself, like, how we live in like this same routine, and we get bothered by these little things that shouldn't really matter to us, and we get wrapped up in just nonsense sometimes, and we really have to use this life as a learning experience. And I think that these type of movies where they're living the same day over and over again, it is a metaphor for us, and in several ways. It could be within your lifetime, or it could have to do with reincarnation also, where in the movie it's the same day over and over again, but in reality it might be possibly, okay, you learn a certain amount during your lifetime, you got to go back and do it again in another life, and maybe you've done that dozens, hundreds, thousands of times. How do you know? So I really enjoyed this one. I'd give it a 5 out of 5. PMac classic. Probably not a lot of people would agree with this one, including Charmy. She was complaining, blah, 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 I don't like this movie. saying negative stuff about it. The acting, I wouldn't give the acting a 5 out of 5. I thought the main character was pretty good, but there are some things in this that were, kind of cheesy and not quite perfectly done. But again, I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 because I was totally engaged in the movie. And this type of movie means a lot to me. It makes me ponder my own life in a lot of ways, and I really like that. And I think it was done well enough. It wasn't like, oh, it was kind of crappy, but I just like the movie. So I thought it was pretty well done for what it was. I thought it really did what it set out to do. Do I think it could have been better in some ways? Yes, I absolutely do, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. This is a movie that I didn't like that much. It is Wolfgang Petersen's Shattered. This is a thriller starring Tom Berenger. Tom Berenger has lost his memory. His character has lost his memory. Greta Scacchi plays his wife. And Bob Hoskins is like a private detective sort of thing. He owns like an animal shop too. I figured out the twist in this movie about 30 to 40 minutes into it. And I wasn't even necessarily like really trying to figure it out. I was just like, that's kind of weird. I think that's what it is. And then that indeed ended up being the twist. So to me, this one was pretty easy to figure out. It wasn't totally horrible. It's from 1991, 98 minutes. It wasn't a totally horrible movie or anything. It was just, it seems like they made kind of a lot of thrillers like this. I don't know if it was like the late 80s, 90s sort of thing. And I just figured out the twist too soon. So this is one that I don't necessarily think I need to keep in my collection. I would never watch it again. I'd probably look to sell Shattered. This one was actually a rewatch. I watched this recently for the second time. I had watched it years and years ago when it first came out. And it is Surrogates here on Blu-ray. So Shattered, for Shattered, I would say like 2.5 out of 5. Not very solid. Surrogates, Bruce Willis, nice Slippy. You got it all, man. You got Bruce Willis, you got a nice Slippy. No. This got pretty poor reviews. And it's kind of... I feel like they kind of half-assed it. You have a movie, and this is directed by Jonathan Mostow, who directed Terminator 3. So you got Bruce Willis, you got Rosamund Pike's in this, you got James Cromwell, Ving Rhames, Radha Mitchell. So you got a pretty solid cast there. And this was Bruce Willis not in his prime, but more in that direction. When did this come out? 89 minutes from, I don't know, this is probably from, it doesn't have the copyright on it, but it's, I don't know, 2005-ish, somewhere around there. Maybe later than that. I think it came out after I graduated college. Maybe it was like 2007, 2008, so I'm not totally sure. But I actually, for what it is, I enjoy this one, but mostly because I like the idea of it. It's like people have these more or less, I don't know if they're robots or like, they're some kind of manufactured human that, they tap into their, they can basically live through these. They sit in there, like I could sit in my room and be living within this human android type of thing. Surrogate. It's a surrogate, that looks exactly like a person. So, and it can be like, your surrogate, like you could be a dude and your surrogate could be, a female or like a really good looking guy, and you could go around and get hot surrogate chicks. And then also you don't like know who's real or not. Like you don't know who's a real human and who's a surrogate. With such a good idea, like this movie didn't really do a ton with it, but it made it kind of fun. It ends up being kind of like a conspiracy sort of thing. And is this kind of idea something that could be possible in the future? Yeah, it could, something like that. I think it's something like that could. But I don't know. I think it's kind of a fun movie. It has been. I think I probably watched this. Me and Charmy watched this like it was probably a couple months ago now. So I don't really remember a ton of details, even though I have seen it twice. But I would recommend watching it. I would probably give it like a 3.5 out of 5 because it's kind of a fun movie, kind of a popcorn movie, you know. So that's why probably more of a 3.5 because it is entertaining, even though it's not the greatest movie necessarily. And then we got John Carpenter's. I'm kind of sick of talking now. We got to get this done. We got John Carpenter's Someone's Watching Me. I think this was like a TV movie from 1978, 97 minutes, starring Lauren Hutton. Adrienne Barbeau's also in this. Nothing really too exciting. I feel like I've watched this kind of movie too many times. It's like this woman. I think it's set in L.A. Yeah, it's set in L.A. and this woman just moved to L.A. and she's got like somebody in the building across from her's like watching her and sending her stuff and creeping on her. And that's pretty much what it is. That's pretty much what the whole movie is right there. But it's not anything too good. Scream Factory put this out. I wouldn't necessarily recommend buying it unless you want like all of John Carpenter's catalog. It's pretty straightforward. There's nothing too exciting. No big twists that like catch you off guard or anything like that. So, just an okay movie. Then we got I enjoyed this one quite a bit. The Hand here, starring Michael Caine. What I don't enjoy is Scream Factory putting out kind of they want fairly premium prices, and they got now like the Lionsgate eco cases with very crappy plastic plus the cutouts, and so you're not going to get a copy with mint artwork. Your artwork's going to get beat up and stuff like mine did. But as far as the movie, I enjoy me some Michael Caine. It is from 1981. It is 104 minutes. Directed by Oliver Stone. Actually directed this, and it didn't have the feel to me of an Oliver Stone movie. This is a very psychological movie. You're not really sure regarding what you're seeing in it, if it's real or not real. Like a lot seems to be going on in the main character's mind, played by Michael Caine. What do I want to say about this? So it has to do with, he's with his wife, and I believe they have a kid. Again, it's been probably a month or so since I watched this, maybe more than that. And people are basically dying, and it's the hand. But again, there's this psychological component to it being the hand here. So I really enjoy this one. I usually do enjoy these kind of psychological movies. And I would recommend it if you can get it around $15 or so. I wouldn't recommend paying like $20 or $25 for it. Not necessarily because of the movie, but because they just do. Couldn't they at least give you like a decent case so the artwork gets protected? This case is just so flimsy. Like I said, it's like the ones Lionsgate uses. But Lionsgate releases, you're usually getting them for like, a new one is $15 with the digital code. You wait a few months and they're like $7.50 with the digital code. This is, over $20. So now this is this next one's a really fun 80s movie from 1985, 101 minutes. Universal originally put this out. Kino got the rights to release it on home video. It does have a couple of commentaries on it. It is Gotcha, starring Anthony Edwards and Linda Fiorentino. This is an absolutely fun movie. It is, it's got comedic elements to it. It's got action elements to it. It's got drama, suspense. I really had fun with it, and I enjoyed Anthony. Anthony Edwards has like a young energy about him in this movie. He doesn't seem like the same guy who is in ER. But in ER, he's like bald, and it seems like he had kind of a temper in ER, if I remember correctly. Where this, he's got long hair, he's got all that youthful energy. Actually, I kind of like Anthony. I didn't necessarily like him in ER, but I like him in this movie. And it's really just it's a good, fun, kick back, relax, eat some popcorn, some chips, drink your favorite drink, and just enjoy the ride. Just a really fun, enjoyable movie. And it does, it's he goes over to like Germany in this movie, so a lot of it's set in Germany, and you're not necessarily sure who's who and all those things, and it's a lot of fun. It's a really, really good movie. I really enjoyed it. I hate when that happens though, when they get son of a gun. You get that a lot on Kinos. I highly recommend this. I give it a 4.5 out of 5. Beer yourself, and beer yourself. So we got some really great movies. Some really, really high recommendations. Like I said, Gotcha. Very, very good. Very high recommendation. The Hand, I would say for The Hand, 4 out of 5. Enjoyable movie. More of a dark movie. Not a light movie at all. Gotcha, more of a light one. A light one, but it's got some intense portions too. The Hand, this one, you're not just going to be able to watch it in any mood. You got to be ready for like a dark psychological horror movie. Someone's watching me. I could have passed on ever watching this. It just didn't really do a whole lot for me. But some of the other really good ones in here, Before I Fall, if you like that type of movie where it's like the person day repeating and they're learning and they're growing as a person, they're realizing aspects of their life that need to be changed, things like that, this is a good movie for you. It is set in, a teenage high school type of thing, so that might turn some people off. Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, another really fun, like, popcorn comedy movie. This is a really fun one. I really enjoyed it. Again, if you want something, this is not, you're going to have to be in the mood for this. This is dark. You're going to have to put some emotional investment in this piece. It is Sputnik, absolutely phenomenal, but you got to be ready for something that's pretty dark, pretty deep, psychological. It's not a popcorn cruncher. Sputnik, and then Flashback. Definitely not like as dark as Sputnik or anything like that, but again, something that'll make you think about your own life, get you into the movie. I enjoyed Flashback. I enjoyed a bunch of those movies. This was a good reviews video because I really enjoyed some of them, like probably about half the movies in there I really, really enjoyed, and then the other half were okay to good or solid. I guess there was a couple stinkers. Someone's watching me. Surrogates I like. Shattered. Under Suspicion. All the rest, solid, baby. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to hear some feedback from you guys, your thoughts on my reviews, your thoughts on the movies that I watched here. What did you think about the movies that I watched? Have you seen any of these and your thoughts on them? There's only a select few people really that watch these review videos, so if you enjoy them, please leave me your feedback. You can see I don't make these too often, and part of the reason I don't make them too often is there's really not that many people who do seem to appreciate them very much, so what's the point of making them very often? Probably the last one was over a month ago. I didn't even check. But take a look in the description section for ways that you can help out PMacMovies and check out PMacMovies on Instagram and things like that. We will see you next time on PMacMovies.